as a connecting device to impart healthcare services, but to use the mobile phone as a sensing device, to use it in place of a blood pressure monitor or a pulse oximeter. So that is something that is coming in future, because mobile phones themselves are coming with a lot of sensors, and that itself can be used, and that is what actually I'm going to talk today. It is more of a technology possibility that I'm going to talk, the work that we are doing. So if you see, there is very interesting scenarios that are emerging as a mobile, because left side you can see two quotations from two eminent persons and see how I would call wrong they were. T.J. Watson told that I think there will be one market for about 5 computers in 1941, and today what we have, one phone almost per person, so in the world. So that is the kind of, and that computer, the mobile phone, is more powerful than that computer that T.J. Watson was talking about in 1940s. Bill Gates made the statement that 640 kilobytes of memory ought to be enough for anybody, only in 1981. And today your phone has a 2 GB memory. So that is the kind of technology thing that is coming in, and so mobile is actually going to bring in a very disruptive change into the way we look at things. Slightly technical, but I will not go to the details, but the point is, all of us have heard of Moore's law, which kind of tells that computing power doubles every 2 years. There are two other lesser known laws are there, which tells that storage also doubles in 2 years and network capacity also doubles in 2 years. Interesting fact is, if we go by this law, like top level, I have given you a very simple, I would call $50 phone configuration, 1.2 gigahertz CPU, 8 GB flash, 1 GB of RAM. Most of your phones will have it. Just extrapolate that using this law. In 2020, see the kind of computing power you have in your mobile phone. So what I am trying to tell is, mobile is going to have a huge computing power and host of high precision sensors on board. Do we really need a dedicated medical instrument to measure anything? Or can the mobile itself be a replacement for doing a lot of physiological measurements? That will be the crux of my talk. Mobile health as it is now, I think a lot of talk happened, and this is the architecture that we use, and we actually are deploying this kind of a scenario in, just now we won some pilot engagement with Singapore government on using these different kind of devices. They are connected over Bluetooth or some connectivity with the mobile phone. You use the mobile phone as a gateway and some app there. Then you use some cloud-based platform to provide healthcare services. This is a very standard way to provide mobile-based healthcare, which kind of, in a, I would call emerging or advanced economy and those kind of Singapore, USA, this is maybe the architecture that is going to work. But what we feel is this may not be the architecture that is going to work in India or any other emerging countries, because the problem is this side. If you see the cost of these devices for home care, if you go on adding up, each of them is going to cost you 5,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees. If you go on adding up these things, how affordable is really this is for any home care kind of a service? That is the kind of thing that we are trying to address. But when we are trying to tell is the same architecture now, I just replace no other devices. I use the sensors on the mobile phone. These sensors are there today. Any smartphone has accelerometer, microphone, camera, magnetometer, gyroscope. How we can use this and then use the same architecture to deliver the similar kind of a healthcare service, which is a remote healthcare service. So possibilities, let us see what we can do. I think you might have seen some of the apps coming out, like if you take your mobile phone and take the video of the fingertip, that actually measures the blood flowing in and out. You can do image processing on it to do this, what we call as the photoplethysmography or PPG. If you from there, you can find out your heart rate. You can do your pulse oximetry. It's possible to do that. You can, in fact, going beyond, we are also trying to do whether we can do a cardiac, in software, can you do a cardiovascular model to measure the blood pressure and some pressure parameters of the ECG. It is possible to do that because it is all about modeling in the right way. The heart is generating all the signals and we are measuring something here. From there, how do we do it? Similarly, microphone is a sensor which is a pressure sensor. It is possible to do lung function and digital stethoscope using this. Only the microphone. Accelerometer, I think we heard in the last talk also, people talked about it. You can use the accelerometer of the mobile phone to figure out the activity of the calorie burning. You can figure out the fall detection. Somebody was talking about the elderly people care. That is a very important thing. And also in the eye imaging and video, you can do some pupillometry and other kind of anything to do what we call as a teleophthalmology. So the point is about the color coding. If you see that there are some places the research has almost kind of matured, and it is possible to really do it. The red colored ones are actually where the research is going on. So in our labs, what we are doing is we are actually working in some of those things, and these are very early kind of results, like what we did on the activity detection, step count and calorie counting with accelerometer. We have got almost 80 to 95% accuracy on that, irrespective of where you keep the mobile. It doesn't matter. You just keep the mobile anywhere, in your pocket, hand, right? We still can detect and give you the exact thing, which is a very, I think it can be a very good application for the wellness thing which you are talking about. Heart rate or blood pressure is in the fingertip video. We are actually getting less than 2 BPM error in the heart rate. This is a kind of a very close testing we have done, and we got more than 90% accuracy in measuring the blood pressure. So this is just going to be one app in your mobile phone. It doesn't matter in any mobile phone, a smartphone having these sensors. So typically any smartphone you buy in 2000, 3000, 5000 rupee range should be good enough, as long as it has Android or iOS Android in it. And we are also getting very good results from microphone based stethoscopes. So you just put the phone and put in your heart on top of it, and we have technology to enhance that signal and give the way a doctor listens the stethoscope sound. Because it is all about just signal, processing that signal to do it, and oximetry and fall detection also we are doing. So currently the work that we are doing is more in the research stage at this point. So we are publishing papers and we are getting very good response. So now it has moved to the next thing. So the opportunity, if you see where it lies, first thing is the inclusivity. India, as we know, that we have a very bad patient to doctor ratio anyway, but on the other side, I think last week only this statement came from the government to ensure that every Indian has a smartphone by 2019. If that happens, what we are looking at is actually a zero cost physiological measurement option, because if people are owning these phones and if they download this app, many of these physiological parameters will be measurable, and that can kind of, I will not call it, it is a replacement of a hospital or a very precise measurement, but it is a kind of a screening device to let people decide when they want to see a doctor. The business part of it, monitoring in rural PSCs definitely is an option. Preventive healthcare for insurance. Insurance companies are very much interested to look at it because it kind of does the preventive healthcare and reduces their cost. Elderly people monitoring. Telecom providers are very much interested to look this as a kind of a bundled offering, and inclusive and affordable telemedicine for hospitals. So these are the options that is there definitely. So, but the challenge is actually, if you see it is a research as an intersection of medical domain and computer science. And it needs a very multidisciplinary collaboration. And another interesting thing is coming is, as we are going through these papers and we are trying to implement many of the research that is happening in the Western countries. This is a very kind of indirect measurement of the physiological parameters, and it is a lot of statistical things involved in this. Whatever research is being done in the Western countries, the Western demographic patient data, that thing doesn't work for our countries. We actually have done the experiments, we have figured out doesn't work. So what needs to be done now is to see whether we can use this technology and do Indian pilots, do research in Indian thing and collect those data and make these things more kind of, I would call, more stable and deployable. So with that I'll finish. Thank you.